We'll come to our mats. Wherever you are today, make sure you have some nice space around you. If you need a prop or anything, you can grab one. You don't necessarily need it, but it's always nice to have. So we're going to do a class on boosting the immunity today. Now, boosting the immunity, you can do lots of things, but the things that I did when I was fighting cancer are things that I still apply today. So they're things that I do every day and I think are super important. Now, aside the fact of eating well and taking care of yourself, in that way, there are lots you can do with movement and breath. So what you want to start by doing is really not put aside your movement practice, because that is super important. And we're going to first look at how we're going to breathe. So we're going to be breathing diaphragmatic breathing, and your diaphragm rests just underneath your rib cage. So we're going to be breathing from here. So we're going to do a first exercise with the diaphragm breathing. Now this is super important because a lot of people either breathe just from your chest and just from your belly, but if you really want to tap into that parasympathetic nervous system, calm yourself, tap into the rest, digest, or the rest and relax, you've got to start breathing and expanding your rib cage, really getting that diaphragm moving. Now there are a lot of ways to do this. We're gonna practice here today, but also moving, getting that lymphatic system working will also help in that way. So to get started, just find your diaphragm, which is underneath your rib cage, and we're going to come and lie down together. But you're going to be placing your hands on your lower rib cage. So if you come with me and just lie down, we're going to start by closing down our eyes, and you can just place your hands on your rib cage. Now just notice first, breathe normally. Are you breathing through your chest? Are you breathing through your belly? And just take a few breaths to settle down here. And we're going to start breathing through and expanding the rib cage. So when you will be taking the breath, you want to feel that your hands are expanding out to the sides. Now, of course, your chest and your belly is still going to rise, but you want to continue, you want to bring the most expansion into your rib cage. So just trying to feel that now. As you inhale through your nose, expand your ribs out to the side. Take a full deep inhale. And then slowly, just like you're blowing into a balloon, exhale through your mouth. Taking a big inhale, expanding your chest. Your rib cage expands, your hands come out to the side, keep inhaling through the nose. And just as if you're blowing through into a balloon, exhale slowly, controlled, all the air out of your body. You should be feeling your hands expand out to the side with each inhale. And as you exhale, feel the hands coming back together as the rib cage falls back into place. And as you breathe here with your eyes closed, really concentrating on expanding that breath, you're getting deeper and stronger breaths here. And this is really the way to really tap into that parasympathetic nervous system. Now, just for a moment, we're just going to take 3 more breaths here. Really feeling that rib cage expand. And then slowly bring one hand to your chest, one hand to your belly. And continue breathing here, trying to keep breathing and expanding the rib cage. But now just tapping in and checking in, how are you feeling today? Staying lying on your back, just notice how you're feeling. Tap into all that sensation. There's no right or wrong answer here. Are you feeling energized and ready, or are you feeling maybe a little bit of anxiety, stress? Whatever you're feeling, just tap into that just for a moment. You don't want to push a feeling aside, and it's totally valid to feel whatever you're feeling. But maybe with each inhale now, try and create a little bit more space around that feeling, around that sensation. If you're feeling nervous, anxious, with anything that's happening at the moment, try and just breathe in space around it. And as you exhale, slowly let it go. Really coming into just the present moment. A few moments just to feel completely what you need to feel. But also reassure yourself that with your breath, you can create space around that feeling. You can release a little bit of anxiety there. Taking big inhales and exhales. Let's take one more big inhale. Open your mouth and let it out. Take another big inhale. Let your belly fill, your rib cage expand, and your chest lift, inhaling a little bit more. Opening your mouth and exhaling. And slowly, you can start wiggling your fingers and your toes again. Maybe stretch out your body if it feels good. And staying on your back, we're going to start in our bridge pose. So you're going to bend your knees, bring your feet down onto the ground. Now what you want to do to also be able to move better and get better circulation through your lymphatic system through movement, you want to have a neutral pelvis. So we'll start in bridge to get that neutral pelvis going. So engage your core, engage your glutes, and then slowly lift your hips up towards the ceiling as you inhale. Now you don't have to come very high, you can stay low. What you really want is to just lengthen that lower back, really get that neutral pelvis going. So you can have your hands down, just starting to really feel those glutes tighten up, starting to warm up. Keep breathing here, big breaths, keep thinking about that diaphragm expanding, the rib cage expanding, but keeping that core nice and tight. We're just breathing here, and at the same time, so let's just reach our hands over our heads and reach your arms back, open up the shoulders, try and keep those rib cages in, keep that tight, nice and tight. You want to be expanding out to the side, not so much flaring the ribs to the front. So you want to keep it contained, but as you keep your core tight, you want to be able to breathe, expand out to the side, but keeping that energy of a tight core. Now let's bring our hands up towards the ceiling. So you want to imagine you're holding onto a tray, and then you're going to take your left hands and pull back the fingers of your right hand. You're going to slowly pull them back, and this will create a nice little stretch for your forearms. We're going to be spending a little bit of time on our hands too, so you just want to make sure that they're nice and prepared here. Keep taking big breaths, slowly pulling back on those right fingers. You keep those glutes nice and engaged, and you should feel them waking up nicely now. Now let's switch hands. Grab the fingers of your left hand and gently pull back here. Now, if ever you have discomfort in your lower back or it's not very comfortable, maybe try shifting your feet forward a little bit, or just changing the position. Sometimes if your heels are a little bit too close, you can also lower down a little bit more, make sure that you're protecting your lower back, but still engaging those glutes. Let's release those hands down to the ground, rolling out your wrists, one way and the other. And then slowly let's roll our spine down to the ground. So as you exhale, lower the top part of your spine, middle, and lower back down on the ground. So we're going to start preparing those abs a little bit. Another important thing for your immune system is being connected to your core. So we're going to do a little bit of that. Interlace your fingers behind your head. Draw your elbows up towards the ceiling. Take a big inhale. And as you exhale, lift your shoulders up off the ground. Now keep the ribs nice and tucked in. Pull the belly down. Really engage your core. You can release the weight of your head in your hands, but look down at your belly button and lift your shoulder blades up off the ground. Stay up, keep exhaling, empty out, and then take a big inhale, release back down to the ground. Exhale, come up. Exhaling here, draw the front ribs in, pull the belly button down to the ground, stay up, keep exhaling. And then inhale, lower your shoulders back down to the ground. Exhale, come up. Now you can stay here or straighten out the right leg. Keep the knees at the same height. Stay up with both shoulder blades, really pulling the belly button down. Lower your right foot down to the ground. Inhale and lower. Exhale, come up. Straighten your left leg. Keeping the knees together, pull the belly button down, draw the rib cage in, come up nice and high off the shoulder blades. Starting to feel that belly really engaging now, firing up. Lower your left foot down to the ground, inhale and lower. Exhale, come up. Straighten the right leg. Release the right hand on the outside of the right leg and pull forward a little bit further. Try and reach towards the front of the mat. Bring the right hand behind your head, right foot down to the ground, inhale and lower. Exhale, come up. Straighten the left leg. Reach the left hand on the outside of the left leg and reach forward, come up a little bit higher off the shoulder blades, engage the core, pull the belly button down towards the mat. Left hand behind your head. Left foot down, inhale and lower. And you should be feeling a nice little energy in your belly right now. So let's lengthen out the left leg and pull the right knee into your chest. Pull it tight here, really getting all that blood flowing, stretching out a little bit. And we're going to come into a twist so you can open your right arm out to the side, lower your right knee over to the left. Now you don't have to come all the way down, just opening up that chest wall here. Reaching your right hand over to the side, you can look over to the right, opening up. You can also keep that bottom leg bent too, or even squeeze both into your chest if this is more comfortable for you. You really want to be working on opening the chest. Just a nice feeling, broadening up that chest wall a little bit. Breathing here. To protect your lower back, you can bring those knees in really tight. You can still keep that bottom leg straight. One more big breath here. And then slowly bring that right knee back up to your chest. Pull the right knee in. And then slowly let that right foot come back down to the ground. Pull the left knee in into your chest. Squeeze here. Give it a good little squeeze. And then slowly bringing that left knee down to the right. Opening that left arm over to the left and maybe looking over to the left. Again, choosing your options to stay with one leg straight or maybe bending that bottom knee, bringing both knees closer to your chest, keeping that lower back nice and long. Opening up the left side now. Big breaths here. Two more breaths. And slowly bringing that left knee back up. Squeeze the left knee in. You can squeeze the right knee in too. Maybe rock from side to side a little bit. Now we've got one more little session for our abs because I can't tell you how important it is to be connected to your core. So let's connect that core, really squeeze in. You can interlace your hands again behind your head. Your knees are down on the ground, your feet are down on the ground, knees are bent. Take a big inhale and then exhale, come up. Like we did before, looking at your belly button, contracting, squeezing. Inhale and lower. Exhale, come up. We're going to add a little twist this time. So you're going to bring your left hand on the outside of your right leg and then reach forward, adding a little bit of a twist. Keep exhaling. Keep that right shoulder up off the ground. Keep reaching forward. Bring the left hand behind your head. Inhale and lower. Exhale, come up off the ground. Right hand on the outside of the left leg and now reach forward. Keep the left shoulder blade nice and high. Keep contracting that core, tightening up. Reach far forward with that right hand, left shoulder blade off the ground. Right hand behind your head. Inhale and lower. One more on each side. Exhale, come up. Left hand on the outside of the right leg. Reach forward, maybe lengthening that right leg too. Reaching forward a little bit more. Feel all that energy in that belly. Lower the right foot down to the ground. Left hand behind your head. Inhale and lower. Exhale, come up. Right hand on the outside of the left leg. Reach forward, maybe straighten out that left leg too. Keep that left shoulder blade up off the ground. Engage. Bring the left foot down. Right hand behind your head. Inhale and lower. Beautiful. Now you can pull those knees into your chest. Roll from side to side again. And now let's rock and roll forwards and backwards just a few times here. And we're all going to meet on all fours. Now, if you've done a class with me before, you know that dolphin comes next. So we're going to strengthen up that upper body. So bringing your forearms down to the ground. Feel free to interlace your fingers or keep the palms of your hands down. You want to have them about shoulder distance apart. So if you want to check the distance, if you can grab onto your shoulders, that's about the distance that you want your elbows. So puff up between the shoulder blades, pull the belly button up, tuck your toes under, lift your hips up to the sky, and then you can walk forward as much as you would like. You can always keep your knees bent. What you want to do is keep lengthening the tailbone up towards the ceiling, but keep that belly button pulled up. Don't release that chest down to the ground. You can release your neck completely and just breathe here, taking big inhales. Maybe opening your mouth to exhale. Keep the core nice and tight. Keep breathing here. Now, if this gets a little bit too hard for you, don't hesitate to bring your knees down to the ground for a little break, but try and stay 3 more breaths than what you think you can. So we're here for a few more. Keep pushing down into the ground with your forearms. Lift your belly button up. 3 more breaths. And then exhale. Bring your knees down to the ground. Come into a child's pose. You can have your palms of your hands together and then place your hands on your upper back, bending the elbows, lengthening out the triceps here. Breathing into this pose. One more breath. And then release your hands down to the ground in front of your mat. Curl your toes under, lift your hips up, downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. And then we're going to step forward to the front of our mat. Inhale, come up to standing, arms rise. Exhale, fold forward. Hinge the hips, bend your knees, pull your hips back, bring your hands down to the ground, step the right foot back, right knee comes down to the ground, untuck your toes, inhale, low lunge. Now here we don't really want to come forward too much. It's a different kind of pose. You want to keep aligned your shoulders, your hips, and your knees. You really want to engage that right glute, push the right glute forward and pull the belly button back. Now you should be feeling a nice opening in the front of that right thigh. Now keep those ribs in, but keep taking deep breaths. Exhale your hands down to the ground. Tuck your right toes under, step your left foot back. Now pull your hands back without shifting forward. Engage your glutes, pull your belly button up. Exhale your knees down to the ground, untuck your toes, bend your elbows, lower down. Inhale to cobra, pull your hands back, open up your chest. Exhale, tuck your toes under, come back into downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward to the front of the mat, lower your left knee down to the ground, untuck your toes, inhale, low lunge. Again, engaging that left glute, pulling the belly button back, reaching up towards the ceiling. And then exhaling, hands down to the ground, step the left foot forward to the front of the mat. Inhale, come up to standing, arms rise. Exhale, fold forward, step the left foot back, left knee down on the ground, untuck the toes, inhale, low lunge. Now just release the arms and roll your shoulders back, one shoulder at a time. You can move the ribs too, just making sure that your glutes are tight, nice and turned on, that your hips are staying nice and square. Inhale your arms up. Exhale your hands down to the ground, step the right foot back into plank. Engage the glutes, pull the belly button up. Exhale, knees come down, bend your elbows lower down to the ground. Inhale, cobra. Pull your hands back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step the left foot forward in between your hands, lower the right knee down to the ground, untuck the toes, come up into your low lunge, engage that right glute, then release your arms and start rolling back, one shoulder at a time. Really moving the whole shoulder girdle. You want to get a nice opening here to be able to keep taking those nice deep breaths. Then inhale your arms up. Exhale your hands down to the ground, step the right foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, come up to standing, arms rise. Exhale, forward fold. Step your right foot back, lower your right knee, but keep your right toes tucked under. Inhale, low lunge. Palms of the hands come together, exhale, hands down to heart center. Really engaging that right glute. Now we're also opening up a little bit the fascia on the back body, starting with the foot. Keep that core nice and engaged. Inhale straight, and then exhale to the left. Inhale, come straight. Exhale to the left again. Inhale straight. Exhale, squeeze the core to the left. Inhale, one more, exhale to the left. Inhale, come back, bring your arms up towards the ceiling, hands come down towards the ground, step the left foot back. Exhale, your knees come down and lower all the way. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward towards the front of the mat, lower the left knee down to the ground, keep the left toes tucked under. Inhale, low lunge. Palms of the hands come together, exhale, hands down to heart center. Inhale straight, exhale to the right. Inhale, exhale to the right. Inhale straight, exhale to the right. One more, inhale, exhale to the right. Come straight, hands up towards the ceiling, exhale, hands down to the ground, step the left foot in, forward fold. Inhale, come up to standing, arms right. Last side, exhale, hands down, step the left foot back, left knee down on the ground, keep the toes tucked under. Inhale into low lunge. And we're going to open up our arm, swing the left arm underneath the right for eagle arms. Now you can bring the backs of your hands together or double cross here, whichever is more comfortable for you or accessible. Now inhale, lift those elbows a little bit higher, keep the core nice and tight. Breathe into your back body between your shoulder blades. And then exhale, round your upper body, bring your chin to your chest. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, squeeze. Exhale, all the air out. Inhale, arms come up and release. Exhale, hands down to the ground, step the right foot back into plank. Lower your knees, lower down to the ground. Inhale into cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step the left foot forward, lower the right knee down to the ground, keep the right toes tucked under. Inhale, low lunge. Open up your arms. This time the right arm swings underneath the left. Backs of the hands together or palms together, double cross. Eagle arms here. You can lift those elbows a little bit higher. Keep the core nice and tight. And then you can stay here or exhale. Roll your spine. Exhale completely, chin to chest. Inhale, bring them back up. Exhale, squeeze. Keep that core nice and tight. Inhale, up. And then release the bind, reach up towards the ceiling, hands down to the ground, step the right foot forward. Inhale, come up. First sequence, exhale, hands down to the ground, step the right foot back, keep the right hand down on the ground, and then lift the left arm up for a twist. Now you want to keep your pelvis nice and neutral, so engage the right glute, lift the right glute up, pull the belly button up, and you can lean into that right shoulder. Don't let that right shoulder fall in towards the left knee. Keep that shoulder blade pulled back. Reaching up here, you can release your neck, you don't have to look up. Keep that core nice and tight, that right glute nice and solid. One more breath here. And then we're going to turn to the right, parallel your feet, and we're going to do our side lunges. So your feet are parallel and you're bending. Right knee, left knee, keeping your core nice and tight and the spine nice and long. Now you want to keep your heels down onto the ground and you want to keep pulling your hips back. Swinging from left to right, keeping your core nice and tight. Let's do 2 more on each side. These are great for opening the insides of the legs, to getting that body moving a little bit. And then let's swing forward to the front of your mat again. Come into the toes of the right foot and then come into an extension here. Your upper part of your body is going to pull forward and your arms are going to swing back. Engage the right glute. Keep the core nice and tight. Reach forward, really working on those legs. Now another thing that will really help your breathing, your general fitness, which boosts your immune system, is strengthen the legs. So really getting those legs nice and strong. One more deep breath here. And then inhale, come up into a crescent lunge. Now you can bend this right knee a little bit because you want your lower back to be nice and straight. Pull the belly button in. You want to keep that neutral pelvis. Breathing here. Then you're going to release your left hand on the inside of your left leg. Reach your right arm up. Open up to the left. You should feel a nice stretch in that whole right side body. Breathing here, really reaching up and over, keeping that right glute turned on. You're pushing that left forearm into the left leg. Inhaling, coming back up to crescent lunge. Exhaling, your hands down to the ground. Step back into a downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. Pull the belly up. Keep the ribs in. Push down all 10 fingers firmly in the ground. And then exhale. Bring your knees down onto the ground, coming into an all-4 position. So pull the belly button up. Inhale. Cat-cow here. You're going to pull your hands back. Open the chest up to the front of your mat. And then exhale, round your spine. Pull the belly button up. Inhale, open up the chest, pull the hands back. Exhale, round your spine, chin to chest, pull the belly button up. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. One more. Inhale, open. Exhale to round. Come back to neutral. You're going to step your right foot back, coming into a modified side plank. So your left knee stays underneath your hips. Your left hand is directly underneath your shoulder. Reach your right arm up into a modified side plank. Now you're going to push that right foot firmly down into the ground. Reach the right arm up and over your head, and then rotate it backwards. Big circles here with big inhales, long exhales. Keep the core nice and tight, opening up that chest wall a little bit more. Keep this shoulder, this left shoulder, nice and solid. One more here. And then exhale. You're going to swing this right foot forward to the front of the mat. So the right foot swings forward, Curl your left toes under. Lift your left knee up. We're going to start on the other side. Left hand is down, right arm comes up. You have your right foot forward, your left foot back. Now don't let that left shoulder fall into the right knee. Open up that shoulder blade, lean into the left shoulder. Open up, keep that core nice and tight. Breathing here. You can release the neck if this is more comfortable for you. Keep the core tight, that left glute is rising. We're coming into our side lunges. Now you can do the same as we did on the other side, or you can add a little bit of a twist. So rotating over to the left, your feet are parallel. You can come side to side, or you can open up, bend the left knee, open up the left arm. Then the right knee, rise the right arm. And you can come side to side, opening up that chest wall as well, or just keeping it like we did before. Side to side. One more. And then let's turn back to the front of the mat, come up to the toes of the left foot, pull your belly button up, reach your hands back, reach the upper body forward, left glute is turned on, right leg is working now strongly, pull the belly button up, really working your strength here, don't let anything go. And then inhale, arms come up, slight bend or shift forward on that left foot so you can keep your spine nice and long. And then release your right arm on the inside of your right leg, reach up with your left hand, and then maybe open up to the side, to the right, pushing that right forearm into the right leg, feeling a nice stretch on that whole left side body. Two more breaths. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, hands down to the ground. Step the right foot back into a downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. And then lower your knees down to the ground. Come back into all fours, and you can go through that cat-cow again. Exhaling, rounding the spine. Inhaling, opening the chest. Exhale to round. Inhale to open. Exhale. One more. Inhale. And then you're going to come back to neutral, step the left foot back this time, lift the left arm up towards the ceiling. You're in your modified side plank on the left side. Push the sole of the left foot down on the ground, and then reach the left arm over, and then roll it back, opening up that chest. Taking big inhales here, long exhales. Rolling that arm around, opening up that chest wall, making sure that your right hand is directly underneath your shoulder. Keeping the glutes nice and tight. Bringing air into those lungs, opening up the chest. And then exhaling, you can step the left foot forward to the front of the mat, step the right foot forward, coming into your forward fold, and then inhale, come up to standing arms rise. Let's flow through a few sun salutations. Exhale, forward fold, hands down to the ground. Step or hop back into plank. Squeeze the glutes, exhale, lower down to the ground. Inhale, come into cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Slight step forward to shorten the distance between your hands and your legs. Inhale, heels up. Exhale, bend your knees, step or hop to the front of the mat. Inhale, come up to standing arms rise. Exhale, fold forward, hands down to the ground. Shift back into plank. Exhale, lower down all the way or halfway. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Big breath here, inhale. Exhale, bend your knees, step or hop to the front of your mat. Inhale, come up to standing, arms rise. Exhale, forward fold, last one. Step or hop back into plank. Flow through your vinyasa or chaturanga, choose your option here. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Staying here. Pull your belly button up, engage your core. And then inhale, lift the left foot up towards the ceiling, 3-legged down dog. Keep that core engaged. Step the left foot forward. Inhale, come up and shift onto that left leg, drawing the right knee up into a balancing stork pose. Now really engage the core, pull the belly button back. Bring that right knee up as high as possible. Really working the legs here. Step the right foot back, hands down to the ground. Lift that left foot into a three-legged down dog. Step the left foot forward. Come to balance on the left leg. Bring the right knee up, draw it up. Squeeze a little bit more. Can you bring that right knee a little bit higher? Step the right foot back, hands down to the ground. Lift the left foot up, three-legged down dog. Last one, shift that left foot forward. Come up to a balancing pose. Squeeze, and then you can bring your hands onto your knees and squeeze that right knee into your chest. Really engaging that left glute, keeping that core nice and tight. Now feel free to stay here or keep the left hand on the right knee and open up that right hand back. Chest is nice and open. Breathing here, finding your balance. Really pushing that big left toe down into the ground. Now we're shifting into a half moon. So you can bring your left hand down directly to the ground or stay in a balancing pose. Your right hand, right leg are coming up. Feel free to bend the left knee and bring the left hand down for your half moon pose or staying in a balance here, whichever suits you best. Keep the core nice and tight. And then bring the right foot down to the ground. We're lifting up into warrior two. Big inhale here. Keep the left knee bent, the left heel aligned with the arch of the right foot. Inhale, exhale, reverse. Left hand comes up and over. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, modify. Left elbow to left knee. Reach that right arm forward, opening up that side body. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, reverse. Inhale. Exhale to modify, reaching that right arm forward. Last time, inhale, warrior two. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, and then windmill your hands down to the front of the mat, coming up onto the toes of the right foot. Step your left foot back, squeeze your glutes, exhale down to the ground. Now we're coming into our locust pose. So you can either keep your feet down or lift them up. You're going to reach your arms forward into a V pose, lift the chest, keep the chin tucked in. And then you can reach them back into an upside down V. Reach them back. Bend the elbows, reach them forward, opening up the chest. Bend the elbows, reach them back. One more. Bend the elbows, reach them forward. Keep that chest up nice and high. Exhale, hands come underneath the shoulders. Tuck your toes under. Downward facing dog. Other side. Let's bring our right leg up towards the ceiling. Step our right foot forward. Inhale, come up to standing. Squeeze. I feel like I've already done this side. Let's come back to downward facing dog. I said the right foot on, I lifted the left. Okay, right foot lifts up. Step the right foot forward. Lift the left knee up towards the ceiling. Sorry. Now squeeze the belly button. Lift that left knee nice and high. Keep those ribs tucked in. Pull the tailbone down towards the ground. Left foot steps back, hands come down to the ground. Step the right foot up, three-legged down dog. Step the right foot forward. Shift up into balancing that right leg. Lift the left knee up, squeeze here. Step the left foot back, hands down to the ground. Right foot comes up, three-legged down dog. Last one, step the right foot forward. Lift the left knee up, squeeze. Pull the belly button in. Can you lift that left knee a little bit higher? And then come and interlace your fingers around the left knee. Squeeze it here. And we're opening up into our half moon. Right hand comes down, left arm comes up. Maybe the right knee bends and bring your right hand down to the ground, or stay in a balanced pose here. Breathe. And then step the left foot down, coming into your warrior two. Right ankle aligned with the arch of the left foot. Right knee bent, slightly open to the right to stay aligned with the toes. Inhale, exhale, reverse. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, left arm comes up and over, right elbow comes onto the right knee. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, modify. We've got one more. Really feel that stretch here. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, reverse, right arm comes up and over. And then windmill your hands down to the ground. Step the right foot back into plank. Exhale, lower down all the way. Untuck your toes. Inhale, come up into a V. This when you're staying in a V, but you're just going to bend your elbows and pull your shoulder blades back. And then reach forward into the V. And then bend your elbows, pull the shoulder blades down your spine. Inhale to open. Exhale, pull. One more, lengthen. And then hands come down underneath your shoulders, tuck your toes under, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, step or hop to the front of your mat. Inhale, come up to standing arms rise. Bring the palms of your hands together and bring your hands down to heart center. Breathing here. Now you can keep your hands here or bring them onto your rib cage. Feel that breath expanding sideways. Keep your eyes closed. Really tap into your breath. Feeling the expansion, feeling the breath expand. Slowing down your exhale. Let's inhale our arms up. Exhale, forward fold. And let's step back into a downward facing dog just for a moment here. Few deep breaths. And then lower your knees down to the ground. Bring them over to one side. Come and sit down. Now, keep your left knee, or your left foot bent, left knee on the ground. Bring your right foot over the top. So we're coming into a seated twist, and you've got your left foot under, your right foot up, your right leg up on top. Now, instead of just twisting, bring your arms up into a goal pose. Take a big inhale, and then exhale to the right. And then where you can open just with that strength, you can bring your, either stay here or bring your hands down, left hand to your right knee, right hand down on the ground, and then lengthen the crown of your head up. Keep that core tight and just breathe here. One more deep breath. And release. Let's just switch over. That right leg comes underneath, left leg comes up on top. Always remember that bottom leg can be straight. You can always stay like this, always choosing your best option. Big inhale, goal post the arms, and then as you exhale, twist to the left. Keeping that core nice and tight. And then maybe bringing your hands down, and just staying here, helping you lengthen the crown of your head up towards the ceiling, finding more space to breathe. Two more breaths. And then slowly releasing. Unravel your feet. Let's come into a pigeon pose. So come into your downward facing dog as we warm down a little bit more here. You can bring your right leg up and then bring your right knee towards your right hand. Your right foot is going to be over to the left side of the mat. Your left leg is parallel to the left side of the mat. Now you want to keep your hips nice and square. You can always place a cushion or a block underneath your right glute if that is more comfortable for you. And then as you exhale, when you're nice and square, you can bring your body forward down onto the mat. Keep your belly nice and tight here. The only time you want to completely release your core is when you're in Shavasana. So make sure that your core is nice and tight, your hips are nice and square. Release down. On each exhale, you want to release that sensation a little bit more. Let's take 2 more big breaths here. And then bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Bring your body back up. Tuck your left toes under. Come back into a downward facing dog. Now, if you just want to walk out those knees, shift your hips from left to right. And then shift that left foot forward. You can bring it up first. And then shift the left knee forward towards your left hand. Left foot towards the right edge of the mat. That right leg is parallel to the right side of the mat. Hips are nice and squared towards the front. Maybe adding that pillow underneath the left glute or the block. And then whenever you're nice and square and ready, you can come down, release over that front leg. Each inhale, imagine you're lengthening still the crown of your head forward. You're intaking all that oxygen, and as you exhale, release completely, softening into your hips. Two more deep breaths here. And then slowly bringing your hands back underneath your shoulders, lifting your upper body, curling the right toes under, shifting back into a downward facing dog. You can walk out one more time here. And then whenever you're ready, let's come and lie on our backs. Straighten the legs out, legs about the width of the mat. Arms a few centimeters away from the body, palms of the hands are up. Close down your eyes and just breathe here. Feel that energy flowing throughout your body. And just being completely present with your breath in the here and now. Bring one hand to your belly, one hand to your chest. Just feel your breath and your hands rising and falling with each inhale and each exhale. Remembering to breathe space into your chest. If you're feeling any anxiety, nervousness, or just a little bit of dis-ease about everything that's happening at the moment, just remember to deep breathe, breathing deeply into that space in your chest, creating more space. Then open your mouth and slowly exhale, just as if you're blowing into a balloon, slow and controlled. Inhaling, expanding the rib cage, creating space into the chest, into those feelings. Opening the mouth and then slowly exhaling out. Knowing that you're safe, you're healthy. And slowly, start wiggling your fingers and your toes, creating a little bit more movement into your body. If you feel like staying on your back right now, please feel free. You can turn me off and just lie there. Otherwise, you can take a big inhale, maybe stretch your arms up above your head, just as if you're waking up in the morning, and then you can draw your knees into your chest, Slowly roll over to your right side, breathing there for just a moment. And then whenever you're ready, slowly coming back up into a comfortable seated position, keeping your eyes closed for just a few moments. And then inhaling your arms up above your head, bringing the palms of your hands together. Exhaling your hands down to your third eye. May your thoughts be pure. Bringing your hands down to your lips. May your words be kind. Bringing your hands down to your heart center. May you have pureness, kindness, and love within. May we all be healthy and safe. May we all keep moving. And I wish you all a beautiful day. Namaste.